Hey, welcome back
Everything gonna be all
to the
right.
Hotel Orloff here in scenic, historic Rural Retreat, Virginia. It is the historic August 15th. I think it's August 15th. It's about 1:45 p.m. Isn't that exciting? Let's let's go upstairs and look at comical books. Yeah. Well, you ever have one of those dreams where you wake up mad at somebody for something they did in the dream that they didn't actually do? Well, I woke up this morning angry at a corporation. I woke up this morning angry at a defunct corporation that's not even around anymore, Toys R Us. Hold on one second. I got something to do here, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back. Just don't go anywhere. Hold on. Okay, sorry. I woke up. I had a dream that I was. You know how they at a Toys R Us you would go into. The door would open and then you'd be in that little area where the shopping carts are, and then you'd go through another door to get into the actual store. And I see a lot of people really nostalgic for Toys R Us. I'm not nostalgic for Toys R Us. I always just thought it was a big corporate, ugly store. Because I didn't have Toys R Us when I was a little kid. I had the toy stores that I knew, besides Sears, there was a great place in San Antonio when I was in 3rd and 4th grade called Kitty City. I think that was bought up by Lionel Trains. The Lionel Corporation bought it. And I remember a store called Toys by Roy at the Forum Mall in Arlington, Texas, and a place called Circus World. I'm more nostalgic for those, but Toys R Us didn't come around until like 1979, where I was living in Texas, and by then, what was I, 14 years old? Give a shoot about that. Anyway, so I've gone through the first door, and then you're about to go into the second door, and this, I move aside and let this kid this is all in a dream. This is not reality. This is a dream I had last night. Anyway, this handicapped child and his parents went in, and the guy was warning them, hey, we're about to close, or there was a manager at the door. And it was early. It was like about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not, and anyway. But they were closing, and then I followed and said, he says, hey, we're closing in 1 minute, man. And I said, I know exactly what I want. I know exactly where it is. It won't even take me a minute to get it off the shelf and get it to the cashier. He says, all right. So I go in. Now, in my dream, I'm looking for something a little, I think it was in my dream, I had a memory. Do you have dreams where you have artificial memories of experiences before? Where thing, so I had been in this Toys R Us before and seen this thing called Spydora. Now, Spydora, if you look it up on Google, and I remembered what it looked like. It had a black package, and Spydora was something they used in these carnivals, these fairs, in the freak show. They say, come in and see the woman, the spider with the head of a woman, and they'd have a woman. This is back pretty much in the Victorian days, or, probably went into the 20s and 30s, but you can see these old banners for Spydora. So I was looking for Spydora. I guess it's an action figure made based on one of those things. Look up Spydora. Google it. Although Google is evil. Anyway, so I go in looking for Spydora, and I realize the store's in a different configuration. And I'm not going to find it easily because they've got all this Halloween stuff they're putting out, which was quite spectacular. Like stuff I'd never seen, all lit up with the sparkly. It was like a new. Sometimes you go one. Sometimes Halloween season will come, and it's like, wow, a whole new. They've jumped forward several generations with the Halloween decorations this year. But anyway, there was really cool Halloween decorations that my mind had concocted in this dream. So I'm looking at those, but I'm like, where's the section that had the Spydora? It was like kind of in the back. And I was remembering, was it on the left-hand side or was it on the right-hand side? And the guy said, hey, you only have a minute. I said, yeah, I know. And then he says, don't be buying any videotapes. Also, just that one thing you're looking for. And it's like, okay, this guy's like way too invested in this. And so I'm looking for the Spydora, and I don't find it, man. And everybody's putting they have all these workers there putting all the Halloween stuff out for the Halloween season. And they're not about to close. It's not like I went in a minute before they're closing and they need to get home and have supper with their families. They're going to be there for a few hours they're closing early to put out the Halloween decorations is what I realized. That's why they were saying we're closing at 5 or 6. So they're putting out the Halloween decorations, and then I finally just realized, shoot, I'm not going to find this Spydora action figure. I looked it up this morning. Was Spydora a He-Man thing or something? I have this. Apparently, there's never been a Spydora toy. It was totally concocted by my mind. So I finally go to this manager, and I say, man, I couldn't find it. Man, I'm just gonna have to leave, and I just wasn't there. And he laughs and he goes, he laughs at me. And then his little teenage employee laughs at me too. And I'm thinking, you son of... And so, and I was I'm saying, that's really not good customer relations. I was not rude to him. I was not shouting at him. You're clearly not closing. They're rushing me out. How is that going to create a problem for these people putting up the Halloween decorations that I'm looking for this Spydora figure? Why does that create some huge problem for you? And then apparently there were a bunch of professional athletes, like people from, I don't know, professional football teams or whatever, that were there for some photo op with the stupid Halloween decorations. And so this guy kind of starts acting like a bouncer and starts putting his shoulder into me, kind of pushing me towards the door. Some NFL idiot. And so, but I'm not fighting back. Once I get outside, the manager comes back out to kind of gloat, I guess. And I said, I let him have it. I said, I don't care if it costs me $100,000. I'm going to have you fired. Whether you get a lawyer, you're just like, because I was so mad about how I was treated by it. And I woke up hating the whole Toys R Us corporation. Of course, it's defunct. They have little Toys R Us boutiques and Macy's department store now, but it's dead. It's a goner because kids don't play with toys anymore. They play with their phones, their tablets, or they play with virtual reality goggles. They play on video. They don't play with physical toys. So yeah, I was pretty mad when I woke up from that dream, and then I had another dream where. And this was back in Texas. This was taking place in Texas, and it was taking place in the past. And my wife was with me. I remember that, but she didn't actually go in the store. She was waiting outside. And then, man, I had these vivid dreams last night. Where this other dream, I was in my old house that I lived in before I moved here, and my car ran out of gas, and then I pulled into this apartment complex, and then there was this guy said, well, this guy seemed very wealthy, and he says, I'll pay for your gas, it's like, but of course at that point my car had turned into a lawnmower, because in your dreams sometimes objects transmorgify, or whatever the word is. It's like suddenly it's a lawnmower. Yeah, I'll get you some gas. And it turned out to be the old-time movie star Randolph Scott from all the westerns, and he was living in this apartment complex, but it was actually very luxurious. And then for some reason he decided he was going to remodel my house. And then we had all these people living on our house, these gothic looking vampire type people were rooming in our house, and he was fixing everything up and making everything look wonderful. And I was thinking, man, the house actually looks good now, but I've already agreed that I'm going to sell the house. But it was like, what? I've been watching a lot of westerns lately, so I guess that's where the Randolph Scott thing came from. Anyway, I have weird dreams, man. But these are weird times we live in, and it's time for weird dreams. These are very weird times. I've never remember, and I don't know who the enemy is. Are the enemies, there are these Marxists that want to destroy or they want to create problems in society so that people will then they can come in and say, well, hey, we've never tried pure Marxism. We could, and it's like, are they behind what happened in Hawaii, or it's like, or is that just naturally happening? It's like you just start getting paranoid about everything. It's like, well, are the enemy these Marxists, that run the Democrat Party? And it's like, are they actually really this stupid to say it's a crime for Trump to tweet that, hey, tune in OANN network, it's amazing, and it's like, oh, he's being charged for tweeting for people to watch OANN. That's part of his conspiracy. You gotta read. It's like, are these people crazy, or are they just really smart and they're acting crazy to get people mad so someone will do something crazy on the other side, and then they can just, because they want dissension, they want chaos. That's what they want, is chaos, and so they can come in and replace it with their Saul Alinsky plan. But anyway, or are they the enemy, or are the enemy these Klaus Schwab Spectre people? I don't know, but looking at comic books will probably solve all the world's problems and make us feel good and nostalgic for a past that never really happened. Because honestly, it was I don't know. Let's see what we got here, man. What's in this box? Nothing of interest. Nothing you want to see. You've already seen this box, in fact. I've got some comics to file. You want to come along with me? That's fine. I told you about dreams, and it's like, I can't believe what happened in Hawaii. It's horrifying. They say 100 people are dead, but that's BS, man. There are thousands that are dead. And they asked Biden, I don't know if he was coming back from a vacation or going to one, and said, would you say some words? He goes, no comment. Why wouldn't you just talk about how horrible it is? Why would you say no comment at a time like that? Unless he's acting very authoritative and he's going to blame the Russians for it. I wouldn't be surprised if they blame the Russians for it. I don't know. But we're not supposed to talk about this. We're supposed to talk about comic books, right? Because who cares about the world? Oh, I'm doing a live stream tomorrow night for because Graphic Man's going to be gone for a little while. It's going to be a replacement for the Four Color Fossils show. It'll be on tomorrow night, Wednesday at 7 o'clock Central. I call the summer replacement show that exists from my channel until Graphic Man comes back and resumes on his channel with the Four Color Fossils show. I call it the Four Color Freakout. And in the weird moods that I'm in lately, I put a little tag on there. It's like, tonight, we're going to try not to show any comic books, which I don't think will go over too well. I don't think it'll happen. But I was kind of like saying, well, why don't we just show anything but comic books, man? Show, look, an antique phone. Look, it's, what could we show? Just a picture of my mom. You know, what does it say on the back? That's not an autograph. Trust me, that's not an autograph. Because I don't want to see any comic books, man. Because all comic books do, and I see comic books, it makes me just want to go buy them, man. And I don't have money. And when I do have money, hopefully soon, I have a lot of comics in Mesa, Arizona waiting for me. So I gotta get that hold piles down. So any money I get for comics are going there. But I see these great books that people are showing lately. Everybody's finding these Harvey books with Spooky, with Frank, Comic Crypt Keeper of Castle Hills, and other people. And they're saying they were inspired by me to go look for these books, and they're finding better books than I've ever had. Were Spookies with Frankenstein's monster, and just amazing stuff. What in the name of all that is? What is this? Oh my goodness. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. We were looking at these books last time. Oh, by the way, it's been nice seeing you. Goodbye. I'm saying the end because I'm not ending the show, but every time I do the show just ends abruptly in the middle of a sentence because I have no idea. Sometimes I'll go however long the phone will let me go, but my phone has very limited memory. I had to delete a couple of apps just so I can maybe film an hour show. Here's a monster magazine from France because these are Cinefantastique. Remember there was a great magazine in the 70s called Cinefantastique? I think that was an adaptation of this. This is I think it started as kind of this fanzine looking thing. It's called Mad Movies number 10. What year is this from? Do they have time in France? Do they have years? Mars, is Mars a month for those people? This could be from 1975. But because it's French, there's lots of inappropriate stuff in here that I can't show you because you know those French. Here's some Blind Dead. It's good because it has these ad mats. Ad mats are what they used in newspapers to advertise movies. La Rebellion de los Muertos. The Revolt of the Dead. What can I show? Yeah, it's got to be like around 1974. That's got to be when this is from. Anyway, lots of nice stuff in here. Here's the poster in the middle. How about that? Mad Movies, number 10. Here's Mad Movies, number 18. I found these probably 20 years ago. Probably in the 90s at, it's 30 years ago, isn't it? At Half Price Books. Look at that. The Panther Women, I think is what that says. Yeah. Hills have eyes. Yeah. So yeah. Do you realize how much people say moving forward now, which is a communist expression? These damn Saul Alinsky Marxists have just put that into the lexicon, and that's all people say. Moving forward, I'm going to buy more comic books. You watch that, and I think it's just, I don't know if it's just drill, if they're told to say it on television. We watch this horrible show, Big Brother, which I watch because I've always watched it, because I used to watch it with my mother before she died, and so I still watch it, and it's horrible, but I watch it. Anyway, you count how many times the people say moving forward in an episode. That's, here's Oriental Cinema. This is it's the Michelle Yeoh issue. If your last name is Yeoh, that's a heck of a last name. It's almost like your last name is Pow or Kapow. Michelle Yeoh. Yeah. Here's her filmography. How about that? This is there's a lot of stuff on Michelle Yeoh in here. This is a magazine for people into Asian action movies and that kind of stuff. This has got to be from the 90s. It was put out by Damon Foster. 2002, yeah. From the 90s. That's basically the 90s. Man, some of these books, it's hard to show them because they put bad stuff in them. This is Fatal Visions. Just another magazine about monsters. Here's Newsweek covering Spider-Man 2, which was a wonderful, great movie. That was one of the great ones. Here's Comic Marketplace with Radio Heroes. It's like I've been trying to talk myself into doing a YouTube show, and it's like, well, I could do a YouTube show, and then I'm going to watch 3 or 4 people unsubscribe to me, and it's Perry to Flash Gordon. It's just like, is it even fun anymore? And then I start doing the show, and I'm starting to get past the curmudgeon phase now at this point, 23 minutes and 52 seconds in. Now I'm starting to feel like, oh, I'm having fun talking to my friends out there. But at first it's like, oh, I gotta do another show. Shoot. Why am I even doing it? It's just like it's like a chore. I could be watching a movie or but how about that? Action figure. You know, I don't have any Walmart near me. It's 45 minutes away, and now they got all these darn really cool Mego figures coming out, replicas of the old ones. And now they're starting to redo the Marvel ones from back then. Anyway, this magazine, you know, shows all the. Yeah, when I was buying these for real, when they first came out, for real, not these fake ones coming out at Walmart, we would buy them at Kitty City in San Antonio. Mike, the crypt keeper of Castle Hills, could tell us, I'm sure in the comments down below, the highway that was on. I think it was near the North Star Mall. My memories are from 1973 to 1975. And so that's the store that I get nostalgic for. And I'm sure I wonder if that building still exists. He will probably know. But Toys R Us, the only thing that's cool about Toys R Us to me is some of their commercials. That Christmas one especially. It's that Toys R Us time of year. Toys R Us. I love that. That Toys R Us. The jingles with the little stupid giraffe family. They always remind me of Elsie the cow's family somehow. That they're little family of animals. So. I don't know how many people because I don't know how old you are. If you remember that Elsie the cow, Elsie the board and milk cow, she had a husband in the commercials named Elmer, and that Elmer is the Elmer that you see on the do I have an Elmer's glue bottle around here? Of course not. But the little guy, the guy on the Elmer's glue, the bull on Elmer's glue, is married to the cow on the board and milk carton, and they have, I think they had a child named Beulah. They had several children. Do you know this? And then it starts making you think, well, milk and Elmer's glue do look a lot alike. They're different in their substance. And then, of course, I studied advertising years ago, and I know that when they used to do, I guess it's showing you books, isn't that what they do? And I've been told by viewers, you need to hold on the book longer so we can freeze frame and read it. Because it's like I said, here's a book, here's another one. Because after a while, it's hard on the arm, man, holding these books up. Because, like all Americans, I'm out of shape. But I'm trying to not drink or eat any sugar. I've been really trying the last few days. I feel like bad things are happening to me. I feel like it's part of my depression. I just feel like I've got to make some changes. I'm 250 pounds, man. I should be 160, I think, for my height. 6 foot, is that, why can't I get down to that? It's like I just don't seem like I can do it. Anyway, these are magazines that I bought for some mystifying reason. This is, wonderful. Fantastic. Here's a coverless issue of Movie Classic from November 1935. It's in excellent condition. I don't know. I own it. There's an article about Mary Pickford. It's not in very good condition. It's not looking good. Yeah, well, shit. Scared that. I'm sorry. Shoot. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to curse on this family network. Oh, I gotta file some books. Okay. Yeah, great. Yeah, but things are going really great. I see in the news that the world is just doing great. And, okay. So, the postage for the painting I did, this medium boxes that I'd have to I'll go downstairs in a minute and show you. I'm talking to one person right now. I'm afraid that the postage could be like $16, $17. I need a double check on it. It's some ridiculous. And I'm mad at the post office, man, because Micah sent me a tube of posters, and they crushed the tube, man, right in the center. So here, let me show you. I've already framed one of the posters he sent me, and the tack fell out. But I don't know if you can tell. Look right about where his abdomen is. You see the, I don't know if you can even tell. You see the crunch that they did to the, I don't know. Where'd the tack go, man? I don't want the dog eating the tack. She's chewed on tacks before. Anyway. Anyway, when Micah gets better and when I have some cash, I'm gonna send Micah like a $20 bill or something, and so he could send me my two favorite, another copy of this sea monkey and the creepy one with the 4-color fossils as cavemen. I've got to get another thumbtack. While I'm up, I guess I'll go show you what I'm talking about with the painting. Anyway, I don't know if there. Yeah, how hard is it for the post office? Has been doing so good lately, and I've been talking well about them. But at some point, some Democrats somewhere working in the post office smashed that tube. All right, let's go downstairs, Drew. I'll send him. What I meant is I'll send Mike a $20 bill so he could send them in a flat package, because then hopefully they won't destroy that package. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about. I've done this painting, right? Now, the package is large, so what I did is I went to the post office and I got this thing, which is meant to be folded into a little smaller box, but I think I've done this before. I think this dog wants to eat. That's why she's going psycho nutso crazo. Drew, are you psycho nutso crazo? I would say the answer is yes. So anyway, this painting, what I can do is slide it. And if any of you want to commission me to do a painting, boy, that would really save my keister. So anyway, it slides into this, and then I can close it like this and tape it over here, and it goes for medium flat rate box. And that's about. I did this before with several paintings that I sent to Captain Strangelife and to John Goris, and they came out okay. So that's what I'm going to have to do. I'll look up medium flat rate box rates, and I'll send you a text massage. But yeah, it's a high rate. Unless I don't think I have a big box somewhere. I don't think I do. I have some boxes that Kevin at Gotham City Comics has sent me stuff. I never think he's ever, or has he? I think he sent me let me see. I'll look later. He sent me some collector's, treasury editions before, which are a little bit smaller, I think, than that painting. So I think if I could find a box he sent to me that's almost fell down the stairs, as I'm okay. I forgot to feed the damn dog. Why do I say damn dog? Drew, I'm sorry. I didn't call you a damn dog. I'll feed you. I'm trying to do a show. I keep getting distracted. Anyway, tune in tomorrow, Wednesday night. And so today I watched Alex Jones. I've got to take my wife somewhere in a little bit. I moved a jukebox downstairs, which the only way you could do that, trust me, is with an elevator or with, that's the only way. I don't know how people do that. See, I moved this jukebox downstairs. So I'm trying to make it a little nicer out here on the patio. Make it into a little bit of a, hopefully, like a tiki kind of deal. Okay, let's feed the dog. You know what I hate almost more than anything? And I think this is representative of why I hate the Democrat Party, which they like to call the Democratic Party. You know what I think of when I think of Democrats? Remember in the 1970s there was a show called Zoom on PBS? I figured people that voted for Joe Biden must be the people that used to watch Zoom. When Zoom would come on television when I was a kid, I couldn't turn the channel quicker. All these barefoot kids running around, we're gonna zoom, 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 zoom. We're gonna zoom, zoom. Oh man. I'm Felicia. I'm Carly. I'm Jimbo. Whatever the heck their names are. They're all just they'd introduce themselves and then they'd show them doing some little skill that they had, like pirouetting, like they were a ballet dancer, or they all had some skill. It was like a liberal Mickey Mouse Club. It was like one of the worst things. There was a later Zoom, but you got to type in 1970s Zoom to understand what I'm talking about. Horrible show. Horrible people on it, who are all now my age. Horrific. I had to put this. I'm hiding a hole in the wall here that I can't fix. I still haven't paid the plumbers for creating the hole in the wall. And anyway, there's a bootleg Star Wars curtain. Because I'm waiting to have some money. So this has been times of little bread. Hold on a moment. Try to rinse the dog food juice off my hands before I handle vintage comic books, ladies and gentlemen. So, made my wife watch the John Wayne movie Hondo the other night. She really got into it. And wonderful. There's a bunch of movies she's wanting me to watch, and we just... Okay, what am I doing here? Okay, so I got some books to file in this box. Excuse me, Drew the dog. So, first thing I move these pictures of my mom. I don't want them. Yeah, right. What is this Dr. Afro? You morons that buy these modern Star Wars comic, Dr. Afra or something. It's a new non-binary Star Wars hero or something. And then they've got some new Star Wars TV show about some Jedi with like squid tentacles coming out of her head. I think it's based on some character that was in Return of the Jedi for like 3 seconds. But it's the same race. And I figure, let's make a Jedi out of that race. Oh boy. I think I'm moving these romance comics out, and I was putting them in with the horror and humor. Was that what I was doing? Yeah, I think I was. Let me move that out. Looks like my only Silver Age outlaw kid. But anyway, you don't come to see that. Let's see, Real Screen Comics. I'm trying to put this issue of Rip Hunter, Time Master, into this box. So, there's Secret 6. Okay. Okay, Rip Hunter is going to come after the Ringo Kid. So here is my first Rip Hunter Time Master number 3. And then this issue is 25. Okay. And then I have 28. And so it looks like I only have 3 issues of Rip Hunter Time Hunter. I'd like to have more, but is that going to happen? Honestly, probably not. I would love for it to happen, but how is it going to happen? Yeah, Secret 6. There's a Swing with Scooter. Oh my gosh. That is someone that voted for Joe Biden, unquestionably. They're really ahead of their time, you know. It's like, this is 1960s. Women didn't have tattoos like that back then. Now they all do. Well, Scooter was like kind of went from being that mod swinging hipster to like an Archie comic like overnight. Here's Giant Scooter Summer Fun. They're trying to disguise themselves as an Archie comic, and they probably fooled a lot of girls into buying that. I mean, not that it's a bad comic, it's just obviously a comic from National. Scooter, Sea Devils. Oh, this is a great comic. Again, something I don't have many copies of. I wish I did. This is Sea Devils number 34. But, you mean I only have 2 Sea Devils comics? That's what I keep telling you guys. You guys tune in thinking I have some amazing comic collection, and I don't. Okay, so what is the deal here? Sergeant Fury. I guess my oldest Sergeant Fury is number 3. Why am I holding it so awkwardly? Guess. I'm hiding a price tag. That's why I always hold things awkwardly. Like, here's number 4. Look how slick I am. I could rebag and reboard them, but yeah. When will that happen? What? Okay, that's right. I have this. I'm trying to put in Shield, but Nick Fury is something I file under N instead of under S. So I'm in the wrong box, but probably the right box for this issue Spectre that I'm trying to put in. let's see what I have. Showcase. This is my neat, nifty showcase divider. Now, see, this has the original Lone Star Comics price tag on it. I guess it's considered in the bag section. It was $1.29. This is what Lone Star Comics, mycomicshop.com, back when it was a brick and mortar store, they used to use these dividers in the old comics. I guarantee you, in the warehouse, when you order your books from mycomicshop.com, they probably still have these same dividers. They had them specially made, and then they made extra, and they'd sell them to the customers. So you'd have a really slick, instead of handwritten, divider for showcase. I was watching some guy on YouTube, and he was saying, yes, I have an extensive showcase collection. I have all the keys. And then he pointed like over his door, you know, like up there where I've got, where it says cold beer there, or John F. Kennedy and Booberry. It's like the guy had all his entire showcase collection over the door, hanging on the wall. And it was like 4 or 5 books. It's like, what? Because he only had the keys. That's all that matter to these some of these comic collectors. They only want the keys. So this issue of Showcase number 46, he obviously didn't have this issue, even though it's obviously a lot of fun to read something like this, because it's not a key. It's, well, why would I want that? It's not a key. Well, because it's fun to read, because you ostensibly love comics. But that's why last week I said we're going to show everything but keys on the 4-color Freakout show. This is 47. Here's Showcase presenting I Spy, number 51. This is before the TV show. It has nothing to do with the TV show with Robert Culp and Bill Cosby, but the name, it's like maybe the show took its name from, or I think that's a game that people play, like I Spy, like when you're on a vacation. I never played it, but I think some people, like, they're with their sister in the back of the station wagon and they're going to the Grand Canyon. I spy a cow. I don't even know how that game's played. Now, it's never played today because kids are on their phones scrolling. That's all they do now. Most of them. I'm not knocking a whole generation, but several generations do that. You know, Space Family Robinson was a comic book before Lost in Space. But we were having a discussion last week. Jumbo Comics was showing an issue of Gunsmoke, and I was thinking, how did they get away with that when there was a show on the radio called Gunsmoke, and then later a TV show? And he said, well, when did that show start? And I said, I think early 50s. Well, I think I looked it up. The radio show, I think, started in 52. And then the TV series where James Arnaz played Marshall Matt Dillon. William Conrad played him in the radio series. But the comic that Jumbo was showing was from 1950, so the comic predated the radio show. So you could say the radio show actually someone could have seen, hey, that's kind of a cool name on that comic book there, Gunsmoke. And then, anyway, so the comic book Gunsmoke predates the radio show and the TV show. That's something I did not know. Maybe I shouldn't be pulling romance comics. I'm starting to get too fragmented in my insane organizing. I don't think he had this one up there above the door, even though this might be the first appearance key issue of the Maniacs. I don't know. But is it key enough for you? I think this is a key issue. The first appearance of the Inferior Five. It must be, because they've got descriptions pointing to each one of them, telling you who they are. That's a good sign that it's a key issue. Key issue. But what this guy had was, of course, the first Silver Age Flash, and obviously the big things, because But this channel is for poor comic book collectors, not rich ones. 60. Nothing wrong with being rich. I'm not some socialist or something. Not some commie. It's just different philosophies in collecting comics. Some people like to read their comics. Some like to keep them slabbed in plastic. Maybe that guy had this one. This is the Return of the Spectre from the Golden Age. This probably has some value. I don't know. I bought it before it had any value. I bought this at Lone Star Comics in either the late 70s, early 80s, when no one gave an S about this. I did. I thought it was cool. But, I don't know if this is the first Creeper. It could be. In which case it would be a key issue. Key issue. I just can't stand the terminology. Okay, and then I don't have much showcase myself. Actually, now that I look at it, I don't have much more than that guy that could put all his showcases above the door to his comic room. Or her comic room. I don't want to... just one at the two. How about that? I've seen this more than a few times. I don't want to use the word trope. I don't think it qualifies as a trope, but it's something that's been done. I saw it on the front cover of a pulp. It was on the front cover of a pulp, or one of those digest pulps that had a Ray Bradbury story in it. I forget what Ray Bradbury story it was, but it had a cover where... Well, no, it was a spaceship leaving, and they left a prisoner chained up on a rock like this in space, in a spacesuit, to die. But this is where they're burying people on these rocks. I don't know. Whatever. I just noticed Showcase at that time is doing this thing on the side. Looks a little EC-like. But that's so that some comics, some drugstores would have comics like this, and then you'd be able to tell, oh, that's an issue of Showcase. That's why a lot of times they have identification there. Or like Marvel would have that stripe going across in the 70s, and that was so that kids would pull their comics up, you know, to look at them in the spinner rack, and that's why they did that. I must be getting the dreaded... No, I won't even mention the name. As they say, it's coming back. This guy was posting on Facebook, if you went to San Diego Con, make sure you go get tested, because I hear a bunch of people got that thing that we used to all get, and when we wore those things on our mouths, our mouth that we're not supposed to talk about. Okay. Look, it's a key issue, Silver Surfer number 7. I don't have number 1. Someone was talking, was it Comic Book Palace? The guy, he was talking about, oh, he hates the Silver Surfer series. A lot of comics in the late 60s from Marvel, they were underwritten. They were cranked out after Marvel expanded. It's like they hardly had any words, and sometimes you'd have 2 panels on a page. It's just like they were. I prefer the lean, hungrier times of like 1965, where it's just nothing but words. That's just how I am. Okay, special Marvel edition. Okay. All right, here's Spectre. Boy, I have a really great Spectre collection. I've got 2 Silver Age Spectres. Now I've got 3. Let's see. But in my defense, I was born in 1965. I wasn't buying these off the rack. I was getting them later whenever I could find them, and you don't find them that often. This is Spectre number 3. He looks constipated. Number 3. And then this one that I just got is, oh, number 2. Now I just need number 1, a key issue. And then I have Spectre number 9. By the way, glad to see you guys. It was a wonderful day here on the Hotel Orloff show. I say that because I don't know when the show's going to end. So I'll just keep doing closings, and then eventually it'll just happen that it'll just work out just right. Here's the wide, wacky world of Stanley and his monster. See, they're trying to make it look like Archie font up here. Here's one I was thinking about sending to CGC. See, you really can't tell they're trying to make it look like an Archie comic. But it's wonderful, man. I don't know, that's only 2 I've got of this. Look at that, man. Okay, so that means that I need to find a box marked in to put this Nick Fury book into. Oh, here's a Sugar and Spike. That'll be in the next box. Yeah, so I'm mad at Toys R Us, man. They did me wrong, man. I'm gonna find that guy and get my revenge, even though he never existed and he exists in a dream. I was thinking, what? You got to do dream interpretation. Why did I dream of this a-hole manager of a Toys R Us? And I thought, what does it represent in my mind, in my psyche, in my id? And I think it might have to do with all these indictments of Trump and all this BS. It's like maybe that guy just represents all of that to me. I don't know. Metal Men to not Brainiac, Justice League, Fantastic Four, Flash, Stars. Oh, I bet it's this box. If you're going to tune in tomorrow night for the four color flashback freak out, whatever the heck I'm calling the show, let me know down below in the comments and hit that like button. And you know, I've realized now why people that started YouTube a long time ago got lots of people are more wary of subscribing now, because what's happening now is on Instagram you hit follow and then you get the people's stuff in your feed, but then sometimes it'll say subscribe, and if you subscribe it takes you to another page where they want to charge you money to subscribe to that Instagram person. So I think some people that get on YouTube think if you subscribe it's going to cost you money, like getting a subscription to a magazine or something. So what? So I think that's what's happening. That's why I'm really stagnant. I can't get subscriptions. And then as soon as I mention it, it's like, because one of my friends here on YouTube says, you know, I like to unsubscribe to you and then watch you get upset, and then I'll resubscribe to you. It's just fun for me. It's like, gee, thanks. Yeah, I'm just trying to get to 1,000 so I can get a couple of bucks, you know, every month, because otherwise it just feels like I'm wasting. It's not that I'm wasting my time. I'm communicating with my friends, but it would be nice if I felt like that it was something that where I was, I don't know. It's just that way you can kind of defend to the wife. Oh, I actually have a job. It's doing that bull. Okay, what am I trying to do here? Sugar and Spike. Is that what I'm trying to get in here? I guess so. This is a fake Sugar and Spike replica thing. It's not really a replica because it's got an ad for really hideous looking Sugar and Spike dolls. When did this thing come out? This looks like they're trying to make them look like Cabbage Patch dolls. Available now, $24.95 or $40.95. So, two ways you can look in the back with the, I don't know, what does that say? Yeah. Let's look at the indicia. Okay, this is where you go to, for you that are novices, to find out when this thing came out. 2002, 21 years ago. But it's a reprint of Sugar and Spike #1, April, May 1958. Now that just reminds me, that's one of the things I've got on hold with Kevin at Gotham City Comics. Gotham City Comics is in Mesa, Arizona. Make sure you call them and buy lots of comics from them. He's a great guy. Kevin Johnson at Gotham City Comics in Mesa, Arizona. Anyway, I've got in my hold stack an archive edition of, so when they did the Sugar and Spike archive edition, they probably just did what the idiots call a floppy comic. Since they'd already, gotten the artwork redone and ready to go for the archive editions. So it's a reprint from the 60s, but with 90s ads. Okay. So, well, I see there's a Red Sonja movie that has already been filmed. Apparently, apparently they showed a trailer at the San Diego convention, but they can't find a distributor, so that means it's going to be a piece of. And I looked up the actress that's playing Red Sonja, and that wouldn't have been my first choice, but they've been talking about doing a Red Sonja movie for years. The one with Bridget Nielsen, Stallone's girlfriend back in the 80s. I never liked that. I didn't think she was right for the role. First of all, she wasn't a real redhead. I don't think this lady is either, but here's my first issue of Submariners #3. Or should I call him the Sea Monkey? This used to be when I was starting collecting, this would be significant because it's an origin issue, and that's what, back then they didn't use key issue. They said it was either first issue, origin issue, or first appearance. Those would be the significant things. Okay, so let's look at what I've got. Sugar and Spike. Looks like my earliest Sugar and Spike is #79. This stuff is great. Sugar and Spike is a great comic. So I guess I'll put this fake issue 1 in front of that. And here's 81. I don't know. How many of you are into Sugar and Spike? Anyway, Red Sonja movie has been made. Everyone's talking about this new Conan the Barbarian comic coming from some new company. They've got some artist that does a pretty good job imitating John Buscema's art. And I don't know much beyond that, how the comic reads, if it's well written. It's just weird that, Red Sonja's at a different company, a Dynamite, than whatever company that's doing Conan. And Red Sonja is just an interesting character in that really the only thing that's Robert E. Howard about Red Sonja is the name. Everything else was a creation of Roy Thomas. And, ooh, this is not in good shape. Man, are these in order? 71, 76, 76. What is this? Well, that song just ended abruptly. Look at this. Do you think CGC would mind that? I don't think so. Anyway, if it wasn't for this guy here, Sheldon Meyer, you wouldn't know Superman, because two teenagers brought the concept for Superman into National, which is now called DC, and they basically threw it in a wastebasket, and Sheldon Meyer pulled it out of the wastebasket and said, hey, we ought to give this an extra look. This doesn't look too bad. So because of the advocacy of Sheldon Meyer, we have Superman, and of course his own creation, Sugar and Spike, and the Three Mouseketeers, and everything else wonderful that he did. Ooh, this has got a fold, like a subscription fold. Every time I show this cover, I make an inappropriate joke and say, I wish Sonny Bono could have done that, because I really like Sonny Bono. People look at him as a joke, but he was actually a really good guy, and he was a great music producer and a great songwriter, and I got 2 copies of it. And people just look at him as this kind of silly guy because he played that role next to Cher on the Sonny and Cher show. What is this? Oh, I've got another copy of the fake Sugar and Spike. Oh, let's see. Oh, this is not a good sign for the Submariner issue 40. You can tell the sales are going down, because whenever the sales would go down, they would have Spider-Man appear, try to give the sales boost. Ooh, this really should be in a bag and board. This is King Size Special number 1, an annual. And as I recall, am I wrong? Yes, I am wrong. I thought this had some Bill Everett reprints in it. But it looks like it's reprints from Tales to Astonish. Look at this 2-page spread. Really a shame what they did to the Submariner in that Marvel Cinematic Universe. Really a shame. Oh well. And then I've got then at the end of this box are the first Superboys I have. This one is issue 80. What time is it, ladies and gentlemen? 81. You guys can see the clock, or can you? Let me take a look at it. It is almost 3. I have to get my wife somewhere at 4:30, but this show will end at any time because I have very limited memory on my phone. Okay, so now I've got to find the N box to get this Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. book put in with the collection. So I already have the episode created for tomorrow night. It's waiting there to get started. If you want to come on tomorrow night, that'll be great. You don't have to have ever been on before. Batman and Captain Savage. zoom. Let's find some other stuff to look at. What do we have in here? Civil War magazines. No, you aren't interested. Maybe you are. What else is in this box? Oh, there's some good stuff. Let's look at some of this. This stuff. Nope. Oh. Oh, this is good stuff. Sort of. Let's move this box. Oh, wow. I smell the pasta from last night. My wife's having lunch, eating the leftover pasta from last night, which she liked a lot more than I did. We got it from a local restaurant. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Here's the Lone Star Express from October, November 1992. When you went to Lone Star Comics, you'd get this thing free, or they would send it to you in the mail. And it's a little magazine put out by Lone Star. And they have art by local untalented artists, and I guess they interview the guy that started Wizard magazine. They have interviews in here. They have ads for comics that nobody remembers, but maybe you guys love this character from Valiant. I don't even remember. Yeah, this is not a good time, 1992. I don't want to make fun of, yes I do. Because you might love these characters like Ravage 2099 or Doomed, you might love that. I see people, oh, I noticed a trend. Oh, here's a whole editorial page by Buddy Saunders, the founder of Lone Star Comics. Both video stores and television may go the way of the dinosaur in the not too distant future, as impressive new technology makes it possible to deliver video images directly to your home the instant you want them. Although scenarios differ as to the precise sort of technology that will be used and who will control it, and thus profit from it. Don't do that, Drew. He's actually right. He's predicting streaming. He's a genius. Well, of course he's a genius. He made millions from comics. All right. Hey, Drew, don't do that. Come on, man. What are you acting like a dog or something? Yeah. You want to? I'd read more of that, but she's trying. What are you trying to do down there, Drew? Come here. Come here. Come here, Mo. my goodness, what is this? This is a little magazine they used to give out. Oh, this might entertain you. They used to give this out at the local movie theaters, Coming Attractions. And it would tell you about the movies that were the upcoming movies, like Steve Martin and The Jerk. This is from, this was just in Dallas, Fort Worth. This was given out. And I've got a bunch of these saved. You know, I'd always pick up a handful. And all about Spielberg's 1941, which was his first bomb. About the black hole. This one, Drew, what are you doing, man? This one's, the heavy metal movie was coming out. And Escape from New York. That was fun. Early August 1981. That was a good time for movies. That was the heavy metal poster that everyone remembers. Oh, Fort Worth's only science fiction and comic store. Was it Tanner Miles still around then? Tanner Miles had a store. Oh, but maybe he was gone by 81. It was on Camp Bowie. There's a review of the soundtrack of Raiders of the Lost Ark, which I imagine is a positive review. Let's face it, The Empire Strikes Back and Superman are tough acts to follow. A lot of people have come out of Raiders of the Lost Ark feeling that John Williams' score was not up to his usual lofty par. And it's a shame, too. Those folks might have heard the score when they saw the film, but they surely haven't listened to the soundtrack album, away from all those distracting gunshots, explosions, fistfights, and car wrecks. One theme everyone is bound to leave the theater humming is the title band, Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's a bold, heroic tune in that familiar Williams Star Wars Superman vein. John Williams was great. Just, I don't know how anyone could think that's a bad soundtrack. The heck is... Oh, I hated these guys. Journey. Oh my God. That was... I didn't like Journey. No offense if you like Journey. I'm sure they're wonderful if I give them a second chance. It seems like they're doing a lot of reviews of the records, the soundtrack did. Oh, Larry Langford was the guy that started the Dallas Fantasy Fair. I think so. So he's the guy that, in the Eisner Awards, started the Dallas Fantasy Fair. That was a long defunct comic convention I used to go to. Someone tried to start it again a few years ago and got a bunch of really great people there, like Steranko and stuff, but it just never, it just didn't. It was like going to a funeral. There was hardly anybody there but some great books and great people, but you sure didn't have to worry about bumping into people there. So that was the last time they did that. But it was real expensive to get in, and real expensive to park. And okay, how about that? I'm kind of well, I want to read more of that Buddy Saunders article where he's predicting streaming. 92, that was kind of before the internet. I guess the internet was around then, but I don't think it was anything that interested me in 92. Here's Dell magazine. It's called Laughing Out Loud. They used to have a lot of these magazines back in the old days with just these little cartoons. And when did this come out? Oh my gosh. October, December 1960. Huh. Incredible. So when that was out, people were they were voting on whether we would have Kennedy or Nixon as president. Man, what is his name? Vivek Ramaswamy. He seems pretty impressive. Now, I'm for Trump, but I think I wouldn't mind Trump Ramaswamy as the vice president, or people keep putting words into the mouth of RFK Jr. I don't know that he's, I wouldn't mind seeing a Trump Kennedy. Imagine a Trump Kennedy. That would blow people's minds. Trump Kennedy. There's the Kirby Collector. I didn't even know I owned this issue. Number 59. It's great to have the pages like this you can photocopy and give to kids to color, like a coloring page. It's better than a coloring book of My Little Pony. Give them Jack Kirby art to color. Oh, I remember buying this at the Skiller's drugstore when the Hulk was first starting on television. Oh, I remember seeing that movie with my mother, Heaven Can Wait, with Warren Beatty. But what cars used to cost. Oh my goodness. This isn't in very good condition. It's the Marvel Comics Index of the Avengers. Look at this. I like this drawing, but it's kind of nuts, man. Look at these people. Everybody look at the Hulk there. Man, I knew a guy in high school that looked like that. Just look at the Thor. This kid's got a red nose. He's been drinking. Who is this artist? Someone that signs his name like he's Frank Frazetta, but see that? He's imitated Frank Frazetta's signature. But anyway, no, I'm not insulting him. He's wonderful. This came out in August of 1976. It has, early appearances of the what would become the Avengers. It starts with all winners. It's stuff that people would do on the internet now. It's like issue 83. It tells you December 1970, tells you who's on the cover, Goliath, Vision, Black Panther, blah, blah, blah. It tells you the title of the story, how long it is. It gives you the credits, who wrote it. If it introduces any characters, it tells you that. Cameo. Apparently it is a cameo of Roy and Gene Thomas. They must have had themselves drawn into the story. It tells you the villains. Comment. Wasp returns to the Avengers for this one story. Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man absent. Comment. Portions of the story take place at the annual Halloween parade at Rutland, Vermont. Valkyrie portions continue in Defenders 3 and 4, and the Incredible Hulk 142. So it gives you all kinds of information, but I think I gotta organize these books better, because I got all kinds of stuff in here. This, I showed this one time on the 4-Color Fossils show. It's a weird reprinting of some Jungle Girl comic strip. And I don't know what, there is no indicia. So I remember trying to figure this out the last time I showed this. I think one of us looked it up on the internet, and maybe it was me, maybe it was Paulo, and we found out the story behind it. It looks like kind of a mixture of Flash Gordon and a Jungle Girl strip. Kazanda, the Wild Girl and the Lost Continent. So you can, oh, that's probably the information there. Kazanda, the Wild Girl and the Lost Continent. Copyright 1939-1970 by Peter Amos and Brodie Mack. Copyright in Great Britain. That's why we don't know about it. It's from England. Nobody pays attention to stuff from England, but this is actually good. So it came out in 1939, and this was reprinted in 1970. So I don't know. We could look and see if it's listed in mycomicshop.com. I don't know. Yeah, buddy. Oh, here's some more issues of that Lone Star Express. Here's 1993 when Mr. T, Neil Adams, the Mr. T comic, Mr. T and the T-Force. Horrible. Just everything was horrible in the 1990s. That's why it's like most comic stores. You go in and you have to flip through so much stuff from the 1990s and modern comics. It's just... And some comic stores don't even have old comics from the 60s. Or they might have 2 or 3 comics that are 12 cents. Those are stores that... Here's some local... artists around in the Dallas-Fort Worth area submitted their work. Look, that's really good depiction of Venom. What do you think? Well, he's only age 13. But there's no excuse for this Wonder Woman. That guy is 31. I better be careful. It says their name. There might be someone watching. Boy, 31 in 1993. So they're 61 now. How about that? I know math. Yeah, right. A new sense of wonder for comic books. The primary complaint concerning most children's superhero and adventure comics, which are still read by a large body of adults, is that too much emphasis is placed on what's known in the comic book industry as power fantasy, stories wherein an assortment of heroes and villains square off in interminable battles. In such stories, little else happens. The missing critical elements are a sense of excitement and fun, that sense of wonder for which comics were once famous. The recent Death of Superman series epitomizes the current poverty of imagination. Superman and Doomsday, the villain, just duke it out page after page through 7 funny books before finally killing each other. Not exactly a fun scenario when you think about it. Nor is there anything interesting or creative in the process. See, I hated that Superman death thing. People lined up and bought multiple copies, and they just thought, oh, I'm going to put my kid through college with this. It's like, yeah, that was bad. Yeah, Buddy Saunders, the owner of Lone Star Comics, was really down on DC during that time period. He liked, Silver Age and all that. What am I going to show tomorrow night? Well, that's a good question. I don't know. Wow, this show's gone an hour and 30 minutes. I'm impressed. Well, it's been nice having you guys today. It's been a wonderful day here with you. There's Drew the dog. How you doing, Drew? say hello to your many fans. She's being good. Yeah. Drew, move so I can turn off these lights. We'll turn the lights off. The party's over, ladies and gentlemen. There's nothing else to show here. There's nothing else to see here. I got about 3 or 4 comics put into boxes. That's a good productive use of an hour and a half time. Oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. I turned off the... I didn't mean to do that. Shit, that's dumb of me. Oh. Okay. Okay. Oh, I hung up the cowbells that I showed in the last episode. I'll show you. So I can, call the cows home. So, that jukebox I showed you was right here. So, I bet there's something to show you in these boxes in here. Got boxes here, man. This one says various... Oh, here's the one that says Starlog. Maybe you want to look at Starlog. Got stuff all over it, though. What the frick was that? Man, I dreamed about this last night. This old Band-Aid thing. It was in my dream last night. I remember that now. Those weird dreams I had last night. Anyway, I'm still mad at the Toys R Us Corporation. Those... I gotta call them up and talk about that manager, man. This manager that I dreamed up. Okay. Oh, whoa. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's Starlog, all right. Oh, look. 10 Halloween lights. Elvira. You never know what you're gonna find. That's Starlog. This box is intriguing me. It says various magazines. And I want to pull this out. See what's in it. Okay. Oh, I remember Future magazine. Oh, there's the first issue of Pizzazz, which oh, this evil look, a Toys R Us catalog. It's bringing the whole episode full circle. Some issues of Film Threat. There's an issue of Soldier of Fortune when Rambo came out. Some issues of Omni. Oh, let's go look at these. Since this episode doesn't seem like it's ever going to end, might as well go look at these in the other room. Oh, I already turned the lights off in the other room. That's a problem. Oh, man.